I'd like to start this off with defining sociological imagination. Sociological imagination, it's the thought process of connecting our personal experiences to the larger scale of society. If someone is struggling to find a job, previously used in the video, it could totally not be their fault. There are plenty of factors that could play into it. The economy could be too tight. They could have no transport, no way to get back and forth from said job. There could be personal struggles that are affected by civilization around us. It's not always individual responses to the larger picture. And the recent modern day supporting backup for this would be a common argument led by adults to teenagers, is that social media, it affects the teenager's child's mental health. This is derived by the fact that the increase of personal comparison that can really downplay one's mental health. Cyberbullying, I'll come back to cyberbullying later, but it's just bullying online, and it's not great for the mental health of kids or teenagers alike. Okay. Socialization is it's the process of learning a society's values, their behaviors, and this all happens throughout a child, adult, teen. It happens throughout life. It's not something that just comes naturally. It has to be learned. As a child, this is when you're finally starting to learn things. You're learning how to behave. You're learning respect, not responsibility. You're learning authority. You're learning who's in charge. You're learning how to be kind. You're learning all these things that will further help you in life. And this is when you'll be taught culture, religion, stuff like that, to keep you in the society's track of wherever this may be. In the teenage years, school, economics, all these things kind of start to pile up, and it can be a lot. It can change who they are, their identity. They are easier influenced by their friends. Culture may change. It depends on where or how effective things are. And then as an adult, there's so many things adults have to do. Their career roles, are they high position in their jobs? Are they lower position? Are they making enough money? Are they responsible enough to hold a family? Are they responsible enough to feed the family? All these aren't just individual things. It all is affected by society and economics, and it is really a large part in the life to be able to know the difference and how to collide all these topics. Culture, it shapes everyone's beliefs and their identity, and fundamentally their behavior as a person. It is the social position that someone holds in a workplace or in anywhere social. For example, a student or a teacher, that's a good example. Their roles, it's what it is expected of them for the position they're in. An example in school would be a teacher. The teacher is expected to teach. That's their role in this, the foundation of their job. And while the teacher instructs and manages the classroom and ensures that all the students are focusing and learning as they should be, the students need to participate and they need to follow the rules of the teacher. That is their role. Their role is to learn. It is to adapt to their teacher's standards. It's them to learn. It's their role. The group dynamics, it can influence their behavior. If you are in a group of friends, it's significantly a large change from who you are with your friends rather than who you are with your coworkers or with a student or with a teacher. It is a completely different person in that manner. Their peer groups, they can change the behavior, the study habits, the attitudes of the students. An example of this in the workplace is that teamwork affects productivity, and people often conform to group expectations. They will group together to expect more or less from one another. The key idea here is that the groups change they shape the social behavior. Media is different from social interaction. Not everyone socially interacts. Media, it pushes out a viewpoint of what people should be like, how they should act. This is why it is so detrimental to a child or a teenager's mental health. Deviance, that's the behavior that it changes the social norms. The mass media influences how people see crime and deviance and the way people look at the world. An example of the crime is if the news, Fox 4 News, CNN, BBC, if they all start to focus on a certain crime, let's say the war currently happening in Iran, people think that that's the biggest thing going on in the world, that's the only thing going on in the world, because that's what's shown to them, that is what they are faced with, that is the face value of the news. It gets them to react, it gets their behavior to change. It makes people want to call out the actions of others online, further pushing the cyberbullying that affects teenagers so much. It creates social pressure that makes it feel like teenagers need to follow these norms. Social media, however, can also spread awareness if used properly. It can highlight injustice in legal systems. It pushes out discrimination. It can further expand our views on how this certain demographic of people are being hated on for this certain thing. It can widen our view on social movements, Black Lives Matter, the Charlie Kirk rallies, Turning Point.